Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to the SavvyCat Podcast. I'm Sav.
I'm Cat.
And together we are SavvyCat because obviously we were creative 12-year-olds.
Geniuses.
Anyway, today in case you weren't in case you weren't aware, and you couldn't tell by, the hair and shit, Kat and I both identify as queer, I identify as queer, Kat identifies as bi. We've made videos about it before, so if you didn't know this, you should go.
We'll have our, coming out video,
at
the top there.
And so we thought that today we would talk about some queer stereotypes and how, if we think that they're real or not, and if they apply to us. I saw Rose and Rosie do this, yesterday, so I thought I would steal it. And I'm sure all of you knew that, because I bet that if you are watching us, you probably watch Rose and Rosie too. So I just thought
Because you have taste.
Exactly. We love queer queens. I can't believe I've been watching Rose and Rosie for 7 years.
That's wild. We're old.
We are old. Yep.
Yeah. I don't really like talking about, things that, how long ago things happened, because it gets really distorted in my mind. We were looking up, Everyday Bro, which to me was, 2012. I don't know why, but it just fits. It fits into 2012, but it was 3 years ago, so.
You know what was at that sort of time, though? Friday.
2012?
Was that not 2011 sort of time?
Okay, I thought you meant 3 years ago, and I was like,
No, 2012. It used to play in our school hall when we were going into assembly.
Yes. Fucking, I find it so funny, the loop between Oppa Gangnam Style and who I am now as a person.
2012, the songs on repeat at school dances and things were Gangnam Style, Friday, and What Makes You Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes you beautiful.
You can't forget, was it Payphone? By Maroon 5?
I'm at a payphone trying to call home all of me. Yeah, our school song, everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've mentioned that before, but I'm going to keep mentioning it because that shit is so funny.
It's hilarious.
Top tier. I feel like it says a lot about our school.
Yeah.
This is a different school to the school I normally talk about too, by the way. This isn't even the cool high school that I went to. This is a different school.
Yeah. I wasn't a part of a cool high school.
Yeah, you were very misfortunate.
I was the best student at my high school. I was the most educated, I was the funniest, I was the coolest, I was the prettiest. I was both prom queen and I was homeschooled.
You can tell that you did, I feel like prom is not. We had a ball in New Zealand, so you clearly didn't go to a New Zealand school.
Yeah, I was homeschooled.
I almost got best dressed at the ball, but then I didn't because I didn't have enough friends.
Fucking mood.
I was best dressed, though. You can fight me. I was best dressed, and I will not take any, I'm not just saying that. I was, okay? I was.
Absolutely.
The teachers told me so.
Good. That's what matters.
9-layer princess dress beats $50 dress off of Boohoo, alright? Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm just
should we go
mad
to our actual
forever.
Topic?
Yeah, we were talking about gay stereotypes. I'm gonna just, before we even get started, can't sit properly. I don't know if you can tell. This is my knee right here.
I literally have my feet on the wall right now. So
that one gets a big check. I thought it was really funny because in Rose and Rosie's video, they were doing lesbian stereotypes and they said can't sit properly. And I always get them confused. Fuck. I think Rose, the lesbian one, I'm terrible. I've been watching their videos for 7 years, but I went through about 6 years where I didn't watch them and I've only recently started. And I can't remember who's who. I'm so sorry. But one of them's a lesbian and one of them's a bisexual. And the lesbian was like, I can sit normally. I don't understand why this is a thing. And then the bisexual is like, no, I can't sit properly. I'm like, yeah, because it's a bi stereotype. It's not a lesbian stereotype. It's a bisexual stereotype.
I would just like to say that the peace sign one, I would like to say that's not accurate. But if you watch any of our videos...
Also, Kat, how do we answer a call?
We literally pick up the phone like this. Like, when we press...
That's how we say goodbye, too. We're like, good night. Sup. Good night. I blame Dan Howell.
Yeah.
I blame him for a lot.
Yeah.
He is why I'm like this.
We have two photos that I think perfectly, they're both like this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And remember in Indonesia when we did the car racing thing, we did that because we're like, let's be that one photo of Dan and Phil.
Yeah. Dan and Phil like molded me as people, which is...
They molded you as people. You're multiple people, are you? Got you. Yeah. No, I think that's a common experience for gays our age, honestly.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. I can't count. I can't do math. So that's a stereotype that also applies to me. Math doesn't... Formulas? Like, I saw this TikTok that was like, I can do formulas. I can do, like, physics. I can do that. That works in my head. Counting? Multiplication? The most basic things? No.
See, I can't relate to that. I hate physics, which is weird. I hated physics, but I loved algebra. And I feel like there's some crossover there. But also, I was, remember in maths class, we had 100 basic maths questions. They were addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. And we got timed. We had 5 minutes to complete the 100 questions. And I think there were 10 of us in the class who did once you got under 2 minutes 50, you did a different one. And I think the fastest I did was like, I got all 100 correct in 1 minute and 52 seconds.
Those were literal hell for me. I hated them.
Beady. I could not do that now.
So much.
I'm actually curious. I might, because I was that person. I sometimes practiced at home.
Yeah, I know you did.
I wanted the fastest time. So I practiced. I went online. I found these and I printed them out so I could practice at home. Mm-hmm. I did mathletics. So.
Yeah. We... Yeah, basic mathematics, I can't do. I just can't, like, it doesn't, I don't know why, but, like, fast multiplication or addition or even...
7 times 8.
Even addition.
Sorry, I just wanted to catch you off guard. That wasn't fair. That wasn't very nice.
but I don't know the answer.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, I don't want to answer that. That gives me really bad anxiety.
I always come up with 7 times 8 because my mom always told me as a kid that was, to her, the hardest one of all the multiplications. She always got that one wrong, so it's like my go-to.
Yeah.
So.
No, I don't like that
I'm really
question.
sorry. I'm really sorry.
No one come for me in the comments. I really can't tell you the answer because it hurts. Like, I'm flustered right now.
I know. My teachers used to do that at like parent-teacher interviews. They're like, look, she's good at maths. And then they give me a question. I'm like, stop it. So I'm very sorry for putting you on the spot.
I can't tell you a single number.
It's like when someone asks your favorite movie and you're like, you just instantly forget every single movie that's ever existed.
Yeah. Yeah. The worst time ever was someone was like, what's your favorite animal? And I answered yellow.
Oh, it's like, no. It's what's your favorite season? Of what show?
I've done that before, yeah. Yeah.
6. What? Added just 6. It's always the best.
Yeah.
Most shows don't get to season 6, though, do they?
Unless you're Supernatural. I have nightmares about that show. Still.
Not because the show was scary.
It was kind of scary.
Yeah, but that's not what gives you nightmares.
No.
I was just making sure people know that you aren't like a wimp who's scared of Supernatural.
No.
No hate to anyone who is a wimp and scared of Supernatural, though.
But I will say the fucking shape-shifting episode of Supernatural where, like, they literally peel off their skin. That gave me nightmares.
Apparently there was a scene in Cats where one of the cats peels off their skin to reveal a jazz costume underneath. So.
We were watching clips from Cats earlier and...
Yeah.
I feel like they're ingrained in my head.
I feel violated, in all honesty.
They were just like... One was literally a 4-minute YouTube clip, but I swear to God, it lasted an hour.
Literally.
That's one stereotype I don't... Oh. I was about to say that's one gay stereotype I don't fit. I don't like musicals, but then I remembered that I've watched Hamilton more times than I could physically... I grew up on musical theatre. How could I say that? I literally grew up in musical theatre.
That's why you have a weird relationship with it.
That's true. My father was a musical theatre actor. So I grew up in the green room.
Such a weird sentence.
I know.
Oh, God. Musical theatre. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch a ton of it. Nor do I listen to much of it. Hamilton, and then I watch Glee, obviously.
That's not
It's not musical theatre, but it's musical TV. You know what I mean? It's like a musical thing. I feel like most people who watched Glee... I don't know, man.
I didn't watch Glee, but I had a best friend who watched Glee, which means I basically watched Glee.
Bro, don't even get me started on that. Supernatural, I could tell you everything that happened in that show for so long. I did not need to watch it. I knew the entire plotline of that show.
Which one's worse? Argue in the comments. Which one's worse? Objectively, being a Gleek or a Super Hulock fan?
Look, but everyone down there is going to be one or the other. Probably Super Hulock. I feel like the people who watch us definitely, if they're our age, all Super Hulock. No, we probably got some. I wasn't Super Hulock. I loved Sherlock. I still love Sherlock. But the other two, I never got into either of the other two.
Doctor Who still is a good show. Supernatural, the first 5 seasons of Supernatural, if you get over all the queer baiting and misogyny and racism, it's a good show. And Sherlock, I really like the only 3 seasons of Sherlock.
I didn't mind the 4th season that much. I don't even remember. What happened in the 4th season? First?
He had a sister.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mind it, honestly.
We watched it together. You hated it.
I don't remember. I've watched it about 5 times, in all honesty. If I'm being completely honest with you, Kiara watched it every week, so I've seen it a bunch of times. It got to the point where if I heard the Sherlock theme song, I would punch you.
Fair.
I heard it I have seen that show so many... My sister gets, you think you're obsessed with things? So, Lucifer, right? You know the TV show Lucifer. So basically on Netflix, they do like a binge rating scale thing. And if you like watch the whole thing without hitting pause at all, it like does better in the algorithm. So when it came out, my sister, she did this for this season 5, and for season 4. When it came out, she got all her snacks and things. She sat down and she sat in front of the TV straight. She didn't even leave. She refused to even go to the bathroom. She had to watch the entire thing start to finish without pause. It's been out for a month and she's seen it 8 times. The whole season. It's been out for a month. She's seen it 8 times. And I am not kidding you. I am not kidding. We met, so at home, instead of Comic-Con, we have Armageddon, where it's the same sort of concept. And people from Lucifer have gone to, last year they went to 3 different ones around the country. They went to Auckland, Wellington, and Tauranga. And so we, of course, had to go to all of these to meet them. So I've met a few of them. And Amy... Fuck, what's her name? Oh my god. You know...
Your sister's gonna kill you.
Kiara's gonna fucking kill... I've met her twice. And, like, we had conversation... You know what?
I know.
Amy, she plays Ella. We're just on first name basis, you know? She put Kiara, my sister, in her Instagram story. So I was like in her Instagram story. And we had chats with her on the plane. She was on the same plane as us.
Yeah.
And she was just very impressed by the fact Kiara had remembered that much of Lucifer. She also tweeted me and gave me credit for giving her inspiration to continue writing her comic book. She's written a comic book. That's a fun fact.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Anyway, that was my flex. But no, my sister... Oh, she also saw The Greatest Showman 10 times in theaters.
Well, she has like 6 copies of the same book.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing she got obsessed with when she was really big into reading. The I'm Number 4 series, the Lorien Legacy series. She got into them when she was about 11. She read all of them, and so she has all the paperbacks, all the hard copies, and she has like, this is all she get for Christmas was just books, the same books she already had. She has signed versions of a lot of the books, which she keeps in bubble wrap on her shelf. And she has a draft copy.
That's fucking cool.
Mum got her a draft copy.
I'm jealous. I haven't read the books, but I'm jealous.
So, yeah, that was like her first major, like, I am obsessed with things.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, I wrote and released a song about 5 Sus and went on TV and talked about how much I love them. Like, I've done some shit, but she...
Yeah. She streams television shows like I stream BTS music, and that's like, I get the excuse that they're only 4 minutes long.
Yeah, these are countless hours. This is during the school term too.
Yeah. She's dedicated. I respect her.
Yeah. Oh, she watched Sherlock start to finish like once a week for a good 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. I respect her and I admire her. She also terrifies me.
Yeah. No, that's valid.
I'm terrified of you.
To be honest, when she watched Greatest Showman multiple times, I was like, how do you watch the same thing that many times? And then now I have Hamilton and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's wild, honestly. She reads and rereads. She doesn't read that much anymore because school is stressful, but like, when she likes something, she likes something. She doesn't write fan fiction though, which is...
No.
She's got that at least.
The worst part, she has that flex over us. The worst part is the way she communicates with me is she finds out what I'm interested in and then finds... I get maybe... They've slowed down now, but I used to get 1 a day of... She used to go through Instagram and find Tony Stark's death scene and send it to me like twice a day.
She's devious. My sister... She's so funny. She's like one of the funniest people I know though. Like, I think that she would be so good on a podcast.
Yes.
If she didn't have anxiety
Not ours.
too.
Not ours. because
if she was on our
she's
podcast,
still-
she'd just sit here and insult us the whole time. She's 4 years younger than me, by the way. She's 4 years younger than us. She turned
She's
17.
scary.
She turned 17 in 3 weeks. She turned 17
Yeah.
in 3 weeks. She turned 17.
Like that. I don't like that.
Wasn't I 17 3 weeks ago?
Yes. Yes, you were. Yes, we were.
What? Anyway, I feel like we just spent like 15 minutes talking about my sister. She also fits into a lot of these gay stereotypes we're going to talk about, such as she can't sit on chairs.
Yeah.
She's worse than me. I'll be driving. She can't sit on anything without her legs like crossed, like when you're sitting on the ground, including when you're driving. And I mean, at home, I don't drive a manual. I drive an automatic. And even then, her knee is somehow like it's over the handbrake when I'm trying to park and
That's dangerous.
I have to like whack her leg. Move your fucking knee. Even you go out to restaurants and she's sitting on the chair with her legs crossed. At like
I respect that.
restaurants. It's brilliant.
I respect that.
Brilliant. Oh, I love her. I miss her. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on to the next
what's
gay
another-
stereotype.
Yeah. What's another stereotype? Star signs.
Okay, neither Kat
I-
or I have ever been into astrology.
I tried to, and then found out what my star sign is, and then I feel like, and I'm bitter about this to this day, because my star sign reads like stubborn, aggressive, set in their ways, and I immediately went, that's not me, and then never went into astrology again.
Not stubborn or set in your ways at all.
I got so upset at it. I'm still upset about it. Every time I read something about Aries, I'm like, that's not me.
And it's funny because they're often written quite vaguely, so it's like it should apply.
Yeah.
I just have never gotten into it. I wanted to, but just like there's so much information. I feel like there's too much to learn, and I'm too behind, and I cannot be bothered to catch up.
The problem is, like, I want to get into, like, not even just get into, I just want to learn about, like, witchcraft and stuff like that. Like, paganism, that fascinates me. Even if, like, I don't necessarily want to practice it. I just want to learn about it. And I want to know, like, respectful ways to treat it and go around it. But I can't find a good resource anywhere.
If
Like,
you
I
have
can't
any,
find,
please
like,
let us know, because I would also
Yeah.
be interested.
Like, I like studying religions and things like that. So I want to know where to start, like, from a good, respectable source, but I don't really know how to get into that. Yeah. I have a book about fairies. I love my fairy book so much. Like, fae. Yeah.
I would like to know more also. My mum does tarot card readings and things, and I've always wanted to get into it more.
Yeah, I used to do this thing with my mum where we would have kind of like tarot cards, but they were like fairy cards where you would draw one and it would say how your day, like your week was going to be.
My mum...
And my grandmother does crystal readings, so
That's cool.
like I grew up around it. I just never found like a good source of it.
My mom's always like, you just have to listen to your inner voice. I'm like, I need more validation than that. I can't just listen to myself. But that's the problem, is that a lot of it is like mindfulness stuff, and I don't trust my inner voice. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I see all this information about like special, like you have to treat candles correctly, and you have to be really respectful, and you have to say certain things and phrasings and stuff like that. And I want to learn, I just don't know how. Because I know that like my grandmother and my mother know a lot about that stuff, but they're like, we just learned it when we were children, and I never got to learn that. So yeah, I don't know.
One thing my mom does that I do sometimes is to make decisions. My uncle was telling me about this. This comes from this is a thing, but I don't remember what it's called. She gets like stones or something, and she'll like ask a question and throw them and see what pattern it forms. She's like,
oh,
that's how the universe is like telling you. She sometimes uses things like Cocoa Pops because that's all she has around. But yeah, so she's like, should I do this? And she'll throw it, and it'll like, it's interesting because it's that whole thing of manifestation, right? Like you will, it's like your mind's eye, you will see what you want to see. So she's like, oh, this is like a smiley face, but I'm sure if you looked at it at a different angle, you could see something else. So it's sort of like tapping into your conscious subconscious almost. I think that it's really interesting, like how manifestation and things work, because like knowing where the line is between what is conscious and what isn't, and like how those influence each other is so interesting.
Yeah, it's like, even though like it's so weird, like I never grew up like religious, which is so strange considering like my background surrounding religion. It's like I went to a Jewish school, and you know, my parents had a lot of, you know, I just said my grandmother was really into like spirituality and witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. And my sister's family is very, very Christian. And then I got really, really into Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology. So like I know a lot about this stuff. I just find it interesting. And then I lived in Indonesia for so long, and I talked to a lot of like Islamic people and stuff like that, and Muslims, and yeah.
It's interesting.
That's off topic though.
Everything, we're always off topic. I think we've never ever been on topic in our lives.
I know. I have a website pulled up here of like different stereotypes that can be applied to LGBT people, and one of the big things that I was going to talk about, and I should talk about now, is it's more serious, but it's quite like topical. There's a huge stereotype that LGBTQ plus people are very violent and very predatory, which
don't understand where that comes from, honestly.
Fear, the AIDS crisis, movies, and currently the worst author on the planet. Yeah.
Finding out that her pseudonym is the man who invented conversion therapy.
J.K. Rowling is...
Yeah, she is.
Like, the fact that she's writing a book about it. Like, it's not even... It's, like, past, like, angry tweets. It's, like, this is actively... Not only did she write a book about it, but she got it greenlit and then published. And then they're gonna promote it. Which means...
The anger in your eyes right now.
I'm just very betrayed. Very, very betrayed.
See, it's times like this where I feel superior for never having supported her in my life. So, I missed out on a large part of Gen Z millennial culture, but I've also never given her a cent. So, that's my flex. That's my new flex now. Now not ever watching or reading Harry Potter gives me a flex and not something for you to hate on me for.
See, like, I feel so conflicted because, like, I know there are a lot of problems with those books. Like, not even with J.K. Rowling. I know there are a lot of problems within those books, and I've always known that. It still doesn't mean that story is, like, so important to me. And I found comfort in it, and I found safety in it. I felt accepted in it, you know? And, like, I will be the first one to point out every flaw in that book. In the series of books, I will point out every single one. I am highly, highly critical of it because I love it so much. And I don't, like, I get the whole, I don't know. I don't agree with a lot of people that are saying that we should just forget that the books ever existed. Or, like, they're burning the books. Or saying that you're an awful person for reading them. Because I feel like Harry Potter has gotten to the point where I don't really see it as just the book anymore. Like, the culture around it and the fandom around it and the way it's so integral to, like, our general, like, generation. You know? Like, even you know your Hogwarts house. And you've never read them.
This is true. It's not because anyone forced me into doing a sorting hat test or anything.
Who would do that?
I think one time, you did it you like answered the questions for me. You didn't even ask me to do it. You just did what you thought I would answer.
I did.
And she's like, yeah, you're a Hufflepuff. I was like, okay, can you send it to me so I can do it? And she's like, I mean, I've already done it for you, but okay. And I was, but like, she knows me so well. She filled out an entire test for me.
Yeah, I did do that.
I just remember, it was like midnight, and you messaged me just one question that you mustn't have known the answer to. You were like, hey, do you consider yourself this or this? And then just like... Sorry, continue.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that I feel like at this point, I don't really connect the books, like the story with the books, which sounds bad, but like that story is so big to me, and all the headcanons and all the meaning behind it is just, it feels like another world, and it doesn't feel like the books anymore, which is why I can go, J.K. Rowling is a piece of shit, because to me she doesn't own it anymore. I've made it into my own thing, we've all made it into our own thing, and she doesn't get to claim it. She doesn't get to touch it. I know she wrote it, she doesn't get to touch it.
Valid.
Yeah, but that's my rant. The point of that is how harmful it can be to many kids for someone of power and someone of money and someone of bigotry, just blatant bigotry, to create a stereotype.
It's like representation
that
matters,
we are violent.
Right? Like,
yeah.
If you are enforcing a stereotype, people are going to believe it.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that, like, our most represented stereotype is either, it's predatory.
Yep.
It's violent and predatory.
Well, you see a lot of parents complain about queer representation because they're like, pedophile. It's like, what? Mm-hmm. What? It's like they say that a large percentage of pedophiles are homosexual men because they're men preying on little boys, so therefore all gays are pedophiles. I'm like, yeah, and a majority of those are priests. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna stop being religious then because all priests are pedophiles? Mm-hmm. Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah. And like that's the whole, like, their whole argument. Usually when bigoted Christians, when they use the Bible as their defense, even though it usually isn't anything to do with religion, it's just to do with them as people. Mm-hmm. When they try to use the Bible as defense, they cherry pick quotes that the word homosexual was not written when the Bible, like, it wasn't a word, like, it just wasn't a thing. It was a concept and people did do it, but it wasn't a word. No one had placed a word on it. So if anybody tells you that the word homosexual is in the Bible, that's not true. That is a
big fat lie.
Modern translation. That is purposely written by a human man, which all of them were, but you get my point. But all the ones that they cherry pick are usually to do with rape or pedophilia. Like, and they've mistranslated it to, like, you know, the whole, a man shall not lie with another man? The actual translation of that is a man should not lie with a boy. Which is, it's different. That is so different.
Yeah, they're not at all correlated at all. So...
Also, on the note of representation, sorry, I feel like I've been getting very heated recently. As soon as I brought up J.K. Rowling, I just I've seen this thing that's like there are gay movies for gay people and gay movies for straight people, which I find very true.
You mean?
Like, an example for a gay movie made for straight people is Love, Simon.
Right. That was a good movie. That was a good movie.
It is a good movie. It is a very good movie, but it is very clearly a gay movie made for straight people. Whereas a gay movie made for gay people is something like Moonlight.
Yeah. And like Call Me by Your Name is also...
That's very a gay movie made for straight people, that is.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway.
Yeah.
Next stereotype.
Yeah. Can you think of any?
I thought we were on have we run out?
Well, yeah. No. I was just wondering if you had any opinions.
You know, my brain just kind of has vanished from my brain. Kat and I haven't slept for about 2 weeks.
Yeah. What about, like, gay men being flamboyant?
I think sometimes, yeah.
And effeminate.
But I think, again, it's like there's this weird thing of, like, I feel like more straight men would be more feminine if they thought that it didn't make them gay.
That is very, very true.
So gay men have been given the stereotype of being more femme, so therefore straight men are like, well, I can't be feminine at all because then people will think I'm gay, and being gay is the worst thing in the entire world. No one must think I'm gay ever.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like that thing of like we usually split into like two groups, which can be read as very heterosexual groups. Yeah. Like there must be a man in the relationship or a woman in the relationship, and there must be like the femme or the butch. Like there has to be. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with. Yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those relationships. I'm just saying that we've been forced into the idea that that's how it has to be, which is not true.
Yeah, it is very odd. Like, I understand where it comes from because, you know, heteronormativity is very much enforced in us. Mm-hmm. And there is some truth to it, and like a lot, it's this weird thing, and you're like, a lot of queer couples will end up within that dynamic, but then you're like, is that because they're told that that's who they should be attracted to? Is that why they will, like, femme lesbians will more often go for more mass guys because they're told that that's what they're meant to do?
Yeah.
I just think it's really interesting, and it's really, we don't know what's enforced by society and what is our own choosing because they're so interweaved with one another, and I think that it's really interesting, and I would really like to, like, if I had like a wish, I would love to be able to see a world without gender norms.
Yeah, definitely.
I just really would just like to see what that looks like and how different it is. Because I feel like we often, without even realizing, put ourselves into gender boxes, which is why non-binary people are superior. They are the superior people, and I will never, ever change my mind about that.
Yeah. Well, it's that thing of, like, I think I've mentioned this before. It's like, even if we get rid of, like, racism and sexism and homophobia and all of those things, even if we completely get rid of them, we still have thousands and thousands of years of history of it being a thing, which means we can't ever fully erase it, and we shouldn't ever fully erase it because it's important to learn from, so it can't ever grow again. It's that thing of, like, if there was a planet out there who didn't have a history. Yeah, I know. I saw your face. I know what you just thought of. That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah, we're not going to bring it up, but my good lord. We have to teach history so history doesn't repeat itself, okay? That is very, very important.
Please, if you feel like you don't know a topic and someone has brought it up, please Google it. Please, please. Please don't just pretend it's not a thing. Please don't. Anyway. What was I talking about?
Sorry, I distracted you.
No, it's okay.
History, learning sexism and stuff, even if it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I just like to know, and there probably is, because aliens are superior than us. If there's a planet out there that hasn't had ever a history of discrimination.
Just a planet of beings that asexually reproduce. And there is no gender. They all just like... That'd be cool. I'd like that.
Well, not even that. It's just, I wonder, and they're given theories, if there's a planet out there that everyone is different and diverse, and as diverse as we are, or even more so, and there's never been a history of discrimination. If they've never even developed that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And that's what I mean. I'd love to see a world, like, I'd love to see what our world would look like if we didn't have the history that we do with that.
Yeah.
I would be super intrigued. I don't know.
I feel like that's as close to a utopia that we could ever get.
Just everyone being treated equally.
Yeah.
And not like starving on the streets.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where everyone has access to clean water.
We're better today. We are very pessimistic.
Look, Kat and I have had a very stressful month. And it's just building and building. This has been one of the most stressful months of our lives, all right?
Yeah.
You were here a month ago now. Like, exactly a month ago.
Yeah.
That means you've only been gone for 2 weeks. Oh my god, this has been the most stressful 2 weeks of our lives. Genuinely.
It's only been 2...
It feels like so long.
I don't want to get into that one. I'm gonna...
No,
okay.
it's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. Still, though, it feels like at least 6.
Yeah.
God.
We'll end this one with our favorite stereotype. Bisexual people can't make a decision.
Listen. I hate how accurate this is to my life. Kat and I, every day, right? Look, we can't make decisions without consulting one another because we need validation from another human being, and we think that the decisions are so minuscule that it's stupid to ask anyone else because you're like, this is so dumb. So then we go to each other, and then we start overthinking this tiny decision to the point where it becomes an actual fucking mountain, and we'll be 2 hours into this discussion of what do I do and be more anxious than we were going into it. And not have a decision.
This definitely didn't happen this morning. This definitely didn't happen.
This is why we don't have friends, Kat. This is why we don't have friends.
I know.
And the funniest thing is this was about how to make friends, too.
We spent 2 hours trying to work out how to talk to someone. And we still didn't talk to them.
How do you reply to a message? This is literally, someone will say hi, and I'll be like, what do I say? What do I do? Is hi too basic? What if they don't like me because I say hi wrong in a fucking text message?
How many full stops? How many, do we use emojis?
What if they read my tone wrong?
Yeah. Do I wait this long? Have I already missed my shot? What's the appropriate amount?
It's so terrible, and this is something we go through like every day. This is why I'm going to the bad place. I'm Chidi Anaganye, all right? We're going to the bad place for being indecisive.
Yeah, and like that's my always like my thing. If a straight person, like a straight person, capital S, ever said any of these stereotypes to me, I would
slap them.
Fight them. Yeah, I would be so mad. But because I'm putting them on me, I'm allowed to because they're my stereotypes.
Well, it also depends the context. If they're talking about, like, your sexuality, they're like, oh, you can't decide between if you want to date a man, or it's like, no, fuck you. I'd rather date a woman, so there's my decision. Me identifying for so long is I don't care what gender you are as long as I like your personality. Like, that's my sexuality. But then I'm also out here just shitting on straight men constantly.
I mean, it's not like you're not... It's not like you don't have a reason for that.
This is true. I mean, to be fair, I'm not counting, like, I'll give queer guys a pass, so I guess I don't care what gender they are, just their sexuality. I'm dating the gays only from now on. I don't care what gender you are, but, like, you have to be gay, so...
If you don't have your pronouns in your bio, don't speak to me.
Literally, yeah. I'll vibe with that. That's a good one. I only date people who have their pronouns in their bios.
Yeah. Let's end it on that. As a message, don't date anyone who doesn't have their pronouns in their bio.
Yeah, there we go.
And also, put your pronouns in your bio.
Be an ally or a person who people get their pronouns confused. You know, just put them in your bio. I'm not going to try. You know why.
Yeah.
I was just, like, trying to explain it, and no. It didn't work. So I apologize for that.
If you don't already know,
educate yourself.
Yeah. Google it.
Yeah. So, thank you for coming along. Remember to check the link in the description. God, Cat. Useless. Remember to check the link in the description for the page on my website for a bunch of petitions and donations and things. And also you can buy the earrings that we make at thequeerkiwi.com/shop. So you should definitely do that.
We make pride flags and pride hearts and pride posts, and
we make lots of cool earrings. Yes. There's a video of us making them if you want to watch it.
Yeah. It's on this channel. So
yes. I need to stop talking while I turn my head away. It's not gonna fly.
You can't sit straight. So
I mean, because I'm not straight.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway, sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah, 10% of our proceeds on the earrings goes to Stonewall, which is a charity for LGBTQ plus people. So that's an incentive to buy our earrings. We also have a Patreon to support us. We have, like, extra content and things like that. So if you want to check that out, that'd be really, really appreciated. We're trying to move out, and we'd really appreciate the support. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for coming. We love and appreciate every single one of you. Enjoy the rest of your day.